What's going on, folks? This is Coach Marcus, Pro Fan Talk, and we are continuing on the theme of pulling receipts. Now, today I was listening to 97.5 Mike Missinelli on Radio Row down at the Super Bowl. I know Vinny Curry was walking around there. It just happens, especially during the Super Bowl. And of course, he catches Torrey Smith, former Eagle wide receiver, and he asked him the question about, like, what did he expect from Jalen Hurts and about how he gets ready. What does he expect from his quarterback? And he was referring to everything that happened with the Eagles mid-season with the beef with A.J. Brown. And there was something going on with him and Nick Sirianni, and the locker room was fractured and schism, and just all of the stuff that the public, the people that aren't in Philadelphia and that don't know, they project on the situation because they don't know what the situation is. You pull from your own personal experience, which may or may not have anything to do with being an athlete, being in the locker room, and your personal relationship with a friend, teammate, or coworker, or family, because they all pretty much in that same vein. But his answer, to me, was very informative, and I'm not sure people caught that, so I wanted to highlight his answer. And this goes out to all of the people that think what goes on in the locker room should be a specific way and everybody has the same expectations. It's not what you think. And Torrey Smith made it plain in his answer. So I'm going to first play the question that Mike asked, and then we're going to get into Torrey Smith's answer. So,
speaking of Jalen, you've played with a lot of quarterbacks. You've seen their demeanor in a huddle, on the sidelines, outside of football. How does what kind of quarterback connects mostly with his team, and how does he do that? Because everybody says Jalen's too reticent, he's too serious, he's this. There was that thing early in the season where they went to his house and said you got to engage more with your teammates. What's the perfect quarterback for a player to be involved with?
Before he gets into that, now he's asking a specific question, but finally, somebody's not asking it as it pertains to him personally. He's looking at a player like, well, what do you think it means? And again, listen to Torrey Smith's answer.
As long as you're cool in that locker room, it doesn't really matter.
There you go.
I'll be the one to tell you this. I don't hang out much, ever, right? And when I was playing, if we had a dinner or something we would set up, I would go to that. But you can ask anybody during my time in Philadelphia. You didn't see me out unless they tricked me into going out after a game, right? Like, I didn't need to hang with my teammates after practice every day. Like, that I don't need my quarterback to do that. Dude,
Facts.
We need to lock in this building, right? We can socialize at the.
Now, let me stop it right there. That's the key word that perked my ears up. We need to lock up in this building. We don't have to go hang out. Because I was essentially the same way when I played. I was not somebody that went to strip clubs. I didn't go partying. I was never like that. Of course, you do when you go out and you have your fun, but you know who in your locker room does what. Let me say it like that. You know who to get with if you want to hook up with women, if you want to smoke, if you want to do steroids, if you want to gamble, if you want a private vacation in Hawaii. There is somebody in your locker room that's got a hookup for everything you are looking for, be it above or below board. There's some people that'll hook you up with some good people, all in the open, and there's some people that can get grimy and shady with you too. And everybody knows who's who in that locker room.
At the tubs, we can socialize in the training room, we can socialize in the cafeteria. But I don't need to hang with you to build this relationship, right? And I think that's how it is. It works in anybody, in any profession, any work environment, right? Like, I just gotta like you. And matter of fact, I don't even have to like you.
Just gotta respect you.
What you have going on. And we're all on the same page. So I think for Jalen, man, he is a very likable player. I think sometimes some people, like we all know and experience, some people want more from their friendship.
There's another good point. Like everybody we know, you walk into your place of business, your job, whatever your situation is in your life. There are some people in there that are very familiar to you. There are people that you are very cordial with, and that's as far as it goes. You don't really know them. You don't know what their family like. You don't know if they got kids. You don't know where they hang out. When you see them at the workplace, hello, goodbye. I got some coffee. You keep it business, cordial, and you keep it moving. There are some people that want to take every relationship to the nth degree, to the next level. Why don't you come over to the house? Let's go hang out. Let's go play pickleball, meet you at the club. And there's some people that'll take you up on those offers, and there's some people that won't. There's some people that are not willing to talk about their family or their personal things going on. They keep it very work-related, period. And you got other people that are on the other end of that spectrum. Case in point, you look at Brandon Graham. Very personable, very open book, wears his emotions on his sleeve, not afraid to say what he's got to say, sometimes to his detriment, as opposed to A.J. Brown, very introspective, reading books, very aware of mental health. They wanted to pile on A.J. Brown for reading books and doing this and being some type of way on the sideline, forgetting this man has dealt with mental issues before, suicide before. So he's dealing with things differently than probably most everybody else. So you have to take that into consideration.
Some people want war for their relationship, and you just have to kind of adjust to meet that. But I played with quarterbacks, Joe Flacco, loving to death, right? South Jersey zone, right? We did not have to hang out at all during the season. We don't have to eat together the day before the games. I was with the younger guys. We were awesome. That's what I love him to death. I do. He called me right now. I'll leave here and I'll go to Jersey to be there for him if he needed me, right? Loving to death. But we're at work. We don't need to have that.
I'm talking about like even during the game on the side.
Very valid points by Torrey Smith. And I'm so glad he brought all of that stuff up and made it plain for people, because everybody wants to see their team and they want to internalize the relationships you see on television based on what your personal feelings are and what your personal experiences are. And you can't do that. You can't do that. You got to meet everybody where they live. Point, period, end of paragraph. And he makes a point. I'm not going to let it play that long, but he makes a point about Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston being outgoing and very loud, trying to be the joke of the party. And he's asking all of the questions. And he made a great point. Torrey Smith made an excellent point. If Jalen Hurts went out and was trying to act like Jameis Winston, we would call him out in a heartbeat. And I remember saying this when all of that nonsense was going on about the split locker room. And I said, everybody's talking about they want Jalen Hurts' personality to change. If Jalen Hurts acted like somebody else, they would call him out in a hot second. It wouldn't be genuine, and he would not be the leader that he is. You got to be yourself. And you got to be comfortable with being yourself. And sometimes you got to let the people around you know where your boundaries are. I'm comfortable with me doing what I'm doing. Y'all good. I'm good. We ain't got to mix. But when we get together in this locker room on that field, we'll be about business. I got your back and you got mine. That's as far as it needs to go. The bad part about that is you are always going to have some people in the other camp. Yo, why don't you come hang with us, Rook? Nah, I'm good. I don't really want to drink and I don't want to hit the bar scene. That's not me. Oh, you too good for us. And now it becomes bullying and all of that type of stuff. And yes, you got that type of stuff at the highest level of football, at professional sports in general. Because it still comes down to the same thing. If you got some people, out there getting grimy, they always want somebody to do it with them. They always want somebody to do it with them, regardless of what level you at. High school, college, pros, it remains the same. If there's somebody out there that's married and trying to hook up with the chicks in the strip club, they always want somebody to go with them. They want somebody to get in trouble with them or to get an alibi or whatever that situation is. So you got to draw your line and stick to what you're comfortable with. Jalen Hurts has been a master of that. He is who he is. His personality doesn't change, and he ain't trying to make it change. He has evolved. That's different. He has evolved as a person. He's a little bit more outgoing, and I'm saying a little bit more outgoing, and he still give the same dry ass answers. And I'm good with that because that's who Jalen Hurts is. We don't want no fake. Fake is easy to recognize, and ain't nobody following fake. You got to stick to your guns. Prime example, look at what CJ Gardner-Johnson said the other day when he broke down the team at the end. That was very spontaneous, and there was something on his heart that he had to get out, and he said it like he said it. I wouldn't expect Jalen Hurts to say it like that. I wouldn't expect Brandon Graham to say it like Jalen Hurts. I wouldn't expect Slay to say it like Jalen. Everybody's got to have their own personality. You don't deal with people, you deal with personalities. And the job of Nick Sirianni's is to get all of those personalities facing in the same direction. Because when you're all facing in the same direction, everybody knows what they're supposed to do. You can still be yourself. You can still be talkative, talk your shit, be quiet, be reserved. Whatever it is that you are, you can do it, but everybody's facing the same direction and everybody's still about business. That's the best thing about our Philadelphia Eagles right now. That's the best thing about Sirianni right now, because after all of that shit that everybody talked about him, wanting to get him fired, and what does a CEO coach do, and this, that, and the other, all he did was take this team to another Super Bowl. Now let's see if we can get it done. Go Birds.